Hey guys, in this episode I'm going to talk about lower mortgage rates and higher property prices in 2025. Buckle up, I'll take you through some of the key forecasts that the banks don't want you to know. This is a forecast that Commonwealth Bank released in March earlier this year, showing what 2024 and 2025 were going to look like in terms of the central bank policy rates, not only just for Australia, but also the US, UK, and Euro. And you can see that every single one of them is in decline, meaning that interest rate decline is going to happen at some point in time. And judging by this graph, if we're just going to focus on Australia, Commonwealth Bank are forecasting almost a 1% decrease in interest rates. And reading between the lines, I would say that is going to probably happen in 2025. So we're in store for some good news, or at least according to the Commonwealth Bank. Now let's have a look at what Westpac is forecasting for the same period, which is very similar to what I just showed you that the Commonwealth Bank were forecasting. However, Westpac seems to be a lot more optimistic with how many rate cuts we're going to get. This forecast is to December 2025, and it's showing that we're going to get as low as 3% from the RBA. So that means a more than 1% decrease in interest rates by the end of 2025. Let me know in the comments below which forecast you think is actually going to be more right than the other. While the ANZ didn't produce a fancy graph showing us what their forecast interest rate reduction would be, they did conclude that the headline CPI inflation around the world was going to reduce to some normality in 2025 into 2026. And they did make a statement to say, while the Royal Bank of New Zealand will cut rates in Q4, the RBA won't follow suit until mid-2025. So they forecast that we will get our rate cuts around mid-2025 in this statement. Like the other three major banks in Australia, I'm going to show you the fourth one, which is NAB, and what they think the interest rates are going to do over the next year and so on. NAB has released similar forecasts to the other major banks. Around middle of 2025 is when they believe the interest rates will start dropping. You can see in this forecast here, June 2025, our RBA cash rate goes down to 4.1%. September 25, it goes down further. December, March, over to June 2026 is when it starts to flatline again at 3.1%. So according to these guys, we look like we're in stall for at least a 1% decline in interest rates from 2025 and into 2026. So the question you need to ask yourself is, what's going to happen to the property market when interest rates start declining? Do you think the property market is going to come down? Do you think it's going to be flatline? Or do you think it's going to explode? When interest rates start declining, it also means that people have more borrowing power. It means that you're paying less on your mortgage, you've got more free cash, and the banks assess you based on that cash rate, which means you can go out and buy more property. Now that is a great thing if you're in the market to buy property, but it also means that there's going to be a lot more people now back into the property market because the bank will now lend them more money to buy more property. My name is Adam Panisi. Hit that like and subscribe button because I talk about making money from property so you can retire early and not have to follow the 30-year mortgage plan. I started off in property when I was 22 years old, and now I've got a couple of hundred property deals currently active.